Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you on how I'm making this delicious Punjabi samosas. Now for that I'm using some all-purpose flour and I've got some ghee. You could use butter, oil, or you can make a combination of any. Some salt. I also have some cold water and I've got some Ajwaini seeds which are optional. And they're also known as carom seeds. And from this bag, I found out another name, which is bishop weed seeds. And they can be found in Indian grocery stores. So over here, I've got my 2.5 cups of flour, and I'm adding the salt and the Ajwaini seeds. And you just want to mix it well, and then add whatever fat that you decide to use. Mix it well. Make sure that the fat is equally distributed to the flour. And you can find out that by trying to make a shape like this. Then we know that it's ready to add the water. So I'm using cold water, and you want to add little at a time because we are looking for a hard dough, not a soft dough. So you don't want to put all the water at the same time. And I've started with 1/2 cup of water, and I added 2 more tablespoons. Okay, so you may need more or you may need less. And the cold water, of course, helps the crust to become crispy and flaky. This is a short crust pastry kind of a thing. Okay, so you don't want to over knead the dough. 5 to 7 minutes, that should be all right. We just want it to, just pull it together, and that's about it. And then after that, we're just gonna let it rest for about 1.5 hours. Cover it well, and that's it. So we're going to move to the second part of this recipe, and I have got about 250 grams of potatoes that I boiled. I drained the water, and the rest of the ingredients are some oil, and I've got some coriander, which is cilantro leaves. You can use lemon or lime, and some salt, cumin powder, cumin seeds, coriander powder, garam masala, and red chili powder. And I've got some frozen peas, which are also optional. So we're going to mash the potatoes. Now you don't mash these completely. You want them to be a little bit lumpy. So if you want to use your hands, you can go ahead and use your hands. All right, just lumpy so that you can, you can feel the bite when you're eating them. Okay, so my heat is on medium-low rather. And we start with the cumin seed. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. Saute for about a minute or so. Then we're going to saute the spices, all the spices, at least for 2 to 3 minutes, because you don't want to eat raw spices. You want them to be well cooked. Then after that, you add the peas if you decide to use the peas. And then the potatoes. All right. Now the salt, I wanted to cook it with the potatoes. I forgot it. So I added the salt here. Actually, I even forgot the salt here too. Okay, so make sure that you taste your food before you, finish. Then we're going to squeeze in some lemon or lime. I used 1 full lemon. And you see how you like it. If you need to add any more heat, you can add more heat. And then, of course, some cilantro. And that's it, and we're going to leave these to cool. So now we are ready to roll the samosas. My dough has become soft, once it's well rested. And I divided into 5 equal portions. And we're going to roll this. You're going to put some oil underneath and on top, and then roll it. And you don't want your samosas, you basically want your samosas just not too thick or not too thin. Mine is just about 1 inch and a little extra. Excuse me. You're going to cut it into half and put some water on the edge. And then you're going to, okay, let me do it this way. Then we're going to seal it like that. And you have the seam facing you. And then put your filling in there. All right. And then you make a pleat. And then pinch and seal. All right. So the pleat is supposed to give you a hunchback. Okay. It's supposed to help you. The samosa is supposed to be standing. The Punjabi samosas are basically vegetarian. And they're Indian street food. Okay, let me show you again. another plate over there, and that's it. These are very simple. All right. And I like to keep them in the fridge for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before I fry them. They're more crispier. Okay, so I just cover them and I put them in the fridge. That's just my personal thing, okay? So now my oil is ready. Make sure it's not too hot, not too high, because you want them to cook inside and outside. When you have your heat too high, they're going to cook outside and they will not cook inside, because the pastry is kind of thick, so you have to be very careful. So after 4 minutes, I flip them over, and they're almost done, nice and golden. So this is an Indian street food, but it has it's upgraded itself. You can find them in fine dining, and they are served as starters. And that's about it. They're delicious. Okay, so now they're nice and golden brown, so I fry them 4 minutes on each side. So now we're ready to serve. And usually they're served with tamarind sauce or any green chili sauce. So I've got the tamarind sauce, and I'll put the link in the description box below so you will know how to make them. Let me show you how they look inside. So this is how they are inside, and you can see the pastry is nice and flaky. All right, and outside is a little bit hard, and that's how they're supposed to be. And of course they need to taste good. All right, so thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar. Please find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below.